Today I was just thinking about how my teaching style has changed over time with teaching different people of different ages, different personalities, uh, coming from different places in the world, and just how when you're a music teacher, you know how diverse uh, your clientele is. And so, I was just musing about some of the things that I do in my classroom that are unique to my own teaching. And I'm hoping that I'll also get feedback from my colleagues on how they manage to stay relevant to their different clientele, different seasons. I mean, 30 years is a long time, and you can imagine every time you're teaching, things change. And especially a subject like music, the music changes, the styles change, the focus changes. There's so much, and you're one teacher who has got to take any particular student through this journey, their way, and make it work for them and make them successful, and so for them to learn the skill that they came to you to learn from you in the first place. One of the strategies personally I adopted and I coined it for myself, and I also use it now to teach others, is bait teaching. So that's what I want to share today. And probably you've never even heard of something like that, because that's something I coined for myself over the years of teaching, and just to be able to get through to my students and create a success story for each one of them. So what's bait teaching? For me, bait teaching is where, yes, I know the foundational skills that a student needs in learning any particular instrument, whether it's the piano, singing, the music theory, the elements of music, in so to speak. And as a teacher how you manage to incorporate all those elements in different music lessons as you go along, and encourage the students to embrace those elements. So I realized that that's one thing, but this lesson plan is not for me. I have to connect with my student at an emotional and spiritual level. Like, really, I have to fit into their shoes and help them to get that spark and that desire to learn what the things that I want to teach them to grow. So I started, doing it a little differently. Instead of me just coming to class and say, oh, we're going to do this and this today, I might say that, but at the end of the day, I want to see, before we start, I want to see the reaction from the student. How are they taking what I want to teach them, and how are they responding to it, even from my demonstration. So that is when now bait teaching came into the picture, that I listen to the student, I see how they react to what I want to do with them, and then from what they do, then I'm able to customize the lesson for them. And that has worked so well, so that even if I had a certain way I was thinking I'm going to do the lesson, something can just pop up. They say something or they do something, and I realize, oh my God, shelve what you wanted to do and just do this. For example, you could be teaching a student who is a piano student a song, or you have some songs that you had assigned and some technical work that they should give you, obviously, in the next lesson to show whether they've made progress. And then you hear the student saying, oh, there's a wedding coming. There's a wedding coming, and I've been asked to play something, or there's a function at school. And so I say, okay, what do you think? Then the student says, oh, there's this song I've heard, and could we try it? Immediately, I change tact. And I say, even if I had my song that I wanted them to learn, it's not really for me, it's for them. So I change what I was going to teach to accommodate their wishes and their desires at the time. So that is what bait teaching is all about. And it has been great, because then it makes me personalize my lessons for my students, and then they have that elevated sense of achievement, which is great, because then they're able to use what they're learning for their own everyday needs. Even in life, sometimes there's a way you do things, and maybe it doesn't even work all the time, or you want to see something change. You cannot continue doing something the same way and expect something different to happen. The result will be the same. So I have learned to be very flexible in how I do things. Nothing is really cast on stone. Things can change. So I change things often, and I'm happy to do those small changes. And they also grow me as a person, because I get another perspective of seeing things, even in life, because there's a way, even when you're relating to people, someone can aggravate you, for example, or they say something that naturally would upset you. But with time you realize, you know what, I need to change that attitude. I don't have to always react in a certain way when someone says something that might not make me happy. How about just choosing to ignore, or laughing about it, or being quiet, not being so quick to always retaliate. So those are some lessons that we learn from just being able to relax on how you do, because some people tend to be, as human beings, to be so stuck in your ways in everything, or in some things, and then you realize you're too stiff and it's not helping you to grow. So I hope this has encouraged someone out there, wherever you are, whatever you do, to be able to just learn to change things often. And it's okay. It's okay to shelve an idea, for example, and adopt another one. And you never know. There's a place where some things might tie, or just think through things before you take action and give yourself like different alternatives. And I hope you will share and subscribe to my channel, Winnie the Music Educator, on all social media platforms and even on my YouTube channel. And also feel free to comment about this video. Feel free to share about what topics you'd like me to address, even in my space as an experienced music educator. I'm also a mother. I mean, I wear many hats. And if you've been following me, you know that I love telling stories of my experiences in life. And so feel free to ask any question, and I promise to get back to you as soon as possible. Looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Winnie's Musings.